No problem.
What's it like to come to work for the first time and not see Hopkins? And what do you think about the guys brought in to help replace him in the passing game in Cooks, Cobb, and David Johnson?
It's definitely a little different because his locker was across from me. So, every time, this is my fourth year. So the last 3 years I would come in and, of course, I would have seen him and, chopped it up with him and talked to him about, the offseason and different things. But, that's part of the business, something that the organization and, had decided to do. But we got some great guys that came in from Cobb, Cooks, David Johnson, veteran guys who played a lot of football. And coming in and ready to work. And so, we definitely have a good addition and, we're trying to put all the pieces together and build that chemistry.
Aaron Wilson.
Morning, Deshaun. Deshaun, when you saw Patrick Mahomes get that contract, what was your reaction to, as a friend to see him get that reward? And how much did it make you think of your own situation? Just kind of what are the state of you and your talks? Have they been good between you and the Texans so far as you guys work toward an eventual goal of doing a deal?
It was awesome. It was awesome for him to be able to, achieve, something so big and get what he deserved. I actually texted him that day when the news came out, and he texted right back. The friendship and the bond that we have has been, great ever since, high school, from the Elite 11 to college, all that. So, that was definitely dope. And, my representation and the organization has definitely been talking. But, timing is everything. Right now, I'm just focused on football and on my team and building this chemistry and building this offense and, getting everyone, making sure we're staying safe. But at the same time, trying to speed up the process to getting on the same page, so we can be ready for September 10th. So that's my main focus. I have an agent that's going to, take care of that, but that's not my main focus right now. My main focus is staying healthy and making sure this team is ready to play.
Mark Berman.
Deshaun, while you say your focus is football, how important is it to get something done on this deal before the season, and if not before the season, sooner rather than later?
Like I said, the football is my main focus. My agent knows the time limit and things like that. My biggest thing, like I've always been wanting to do since I was a little kid, is just play football, win championship, win games, and compete. So, like I said before, that my agent is taking care of that, and that's with him and the organization. Like I said, my main focus is being the quarterback and the leader of this team and making sure we're ready for September 10th.
Matt Musil.
Deshaun, you guys were talking about your new set of receivers with DeAndre gone, Brandon Cooks, Randall, those guys. Have you had a chance to work out with them much, and how difficult has it been to get your workouts in and also go through the safety protocols during the summer?
Yeah, I've worked out with them a couple of times over the summer. We've kind of been making sure that we're, picking the right time to work out and doing the right things and taking the precautions that we need to make sure that everyone is staying safe. They have, everyone have a family, they have kids and a wife. And so, making sure that they're staying safe, that the wife and the kids are, making sure that they're on the same page of what we're doing and what we're working out and who we've been around and checking temperature and things like that, staying sanitized. So, yeah, it's been good the times we've been working out, but it's also been difficult and kind of, nerve-wracking because we haven't been able to work out as much as, we wanted to. But at the same time, we've been FaceTime testing, doing a lot of mental work. So whenever they came in, they were ready and prepared.
Brandon.
Hey, Deshaun, as a leader now and going into your fourth year, what is it that you need to see from this Texans organization for you to want to commit to a long-term deal like what Patrick Mahomes agreed to, or for you to want to be here long-term? What do you need to see from the organization?
I'm here. I love this organization. I love them and their family. I love the coaching staff. I love the coaches. I love the players. I love the city. I love the fan base. So right now my main focus is continue to be a Houston Texan and making sure that I'm bringing everything I can and doing everything I can to bring the city and this organization its first championship. So that's my main focus. And right now I'm a Houston Texan and that the future is gonna tell itself. But I'm locked in on being a Texan.
Risky.
Deshaun, I know your number one goal is helping the team win, but what are some personal things you want to work on this year, or some development things that you really think you can do this year to take it to the next step?
Just being, very detailed in my craft. Not making those little error mistakes. Of course, protecting the ball, making sure everyone is on the same page, and really just kind of, coming down to the end of the game situations. I know I was, pretty decent at it last year, but I want to be perfect. And I want to be able to, win those close games. I want to be able to close out those games against, New Orleans and against a couple other teams that, we came up short, against in the fourth quarter, especially against those great quarterbacks. So I want to be able to focus on that, build a craft and be able to get us in the perfect play each and every time, even though that's hard and, it's kind of impossible to do, but I feel like it's possible. So just kind of focus on that.
Aaron Reese.
Hey, Deshaun, with Hop gone, I'm wondering what you think Will Fuller is capable of doing in an expanded role, especially if he's able to stay healthy for all 16 games.
Will's going to ball out. I mean, Will's going to be one of the best receivers in the league. So, he's came back a lot stronger, a lot faster. He was really good, very confident in himself and what he did over the offseason. I'm very confident in what he can do. And we all are as an organization, as a team. So there's no doubt that Will can, take that role and do, great things with it.
Sarah?
Deshaun, I know this was back in March, but when did you find out that Hopkins was traded, and what was your reaction to it?
I found out after a workout, and it was just, of course, out the blue, different. I wasn't expecting it. But, like I said, that's just the way the business go. And that's something that, I have pretty much no control of. So, the organization had to do what they had to do. And, D-Hop, he had to do what he had to do. So, we still, have a relationship and still have a bond. But, it was just different, of course.
Vanessa.
Hey, Deshaun, veteran leadership is obviously always important, and it's going to be even more important this year with the rookies needing more help. What do you see as your role as a leader, and how important is that going to be for the rookies?
It's definitely big, especially the rookies. That's going to, play a big role in, helping this team win games and making sure we all bring them along. And I feel like this team that we have, since I've been in this organization, this is the most veterans we had. Played a lot of football, so a lot of rookies get to see a lot of different people, especially in different positions. Being the quarterback, it's kind of hard to be able to touch rookies on defense, receivers, O-line, but we have a lot of guys that played a lot of football that they can look up to them and watch them and take a lot of mental reps, whenever their time come in so they can perform.
Terrence?
Hey, Deshaun. How's it going?
I'm doing well.
Hey, I want to ask you, where's your comfort level with, the protocols that have been put in place by the NFL to keep you guys safe? Where are you at with that at this point?
At first, it was just, of course, it was a lot of different stories coming out about the protocol and things like that. So we're I feel like safety and health is always first. We all want to play football. We all want to do the right things, but at the same time, we got to make sure, because we're going home to our families and people that, might have, a health condition or, might, have some type of problem. So, for us to be able to come in and take the precautions and do the right things is very important. I know this organization, from what I came in, have changed everything and put in the right safety precaution on, the sanitizing to, the locker room to the way we, manage things. So, the first couple of days of camp have been great. And what we've seen has been a big change. And, we're going in the right direction, especially for this organization.
John?
Deshaun, this is the first time since 2011 the Texans have had their offensive line back at every spot. How important is that to you? And last year, y'all ran the ball less than any time in since Bill's been here, as they put more emphasis on you. So does having the line back and more emphasis on you go hand in hand?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like having that group and that chemistry back is going to be great. I know if you look back on, when over the couple of years, but when we had our, especially last year, our starting five O-line, we've been very, very dominant. And we've been very, successful, when all five of those guys are playing at the same time. So if we can keep those guys healthy through a full season and build that chemistry, I mean, those guys look really, really good. They've been working out with each other. They've been talking with each other. You can just see it, through the locker room, throughout the building, how, they just move as a unit. They move as a group. And everywhere, one person goes, everyone goes. So you love to see that. And, for them to be able to, do what they have to do to make sure that, we've been successful as a unit, as a whole, is very confident in, the coaching staff and myself.
John, if you had a follow-up.
I did. Tim Kelly being a first-time play caller, and of course you know him very well. Do you see any differences that we will notice with Tim as a play caller as compared to Bill? And will you play a key role in the strategy and have the freedom under Tim that you had under Bill?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of freedom with Coach O'Brien too. He gave me a lot of freedom. We talked a lot of times, but being the head coach in the OC, there were times where, we were, couldn't meet as much as we wanted to. But I feel like with Tim, I get to see Tim. That's the only person that I'll meet with besides, TJ Yates. So being able to have that, everyday conversation, every meeting conversation with him and being on the same page and sitting eye to eye, definitely is going to, take us a long way. But, Tim has been doing a great job of, putting together, different, game plans and scripts and making sure that I'm prepared in each and every game. And I can tell that he's, want to take that to a whole nother level. So, with us, starting camp and, the meetings and the conversation and the leeway he's just throwing out there whenever we step on the field has been great.
Tim?
Hey, good morning, Deshaun. This question is twofold. You talked about safety and all the stuff that the Texans have put in place. Can you talk about how safe you feel and also your role as a leader in making sure that the players know that away from the stadium, they've also got to practice all these precautions? And then secondly, could you walk us through what's different now about how you guys go through your day?
Yeah, and there's just the way the schedules are, set up for us to be social distance. I think it's like 80 players. So that's a lot of people, in one spot at one time. But for us to be able to take those, right precautions, we got to make sure that, we're following the schedule. And they put out a great plan. They're making sure that we're staying, sanitized to, everyone, having their own towels to, 2 lockers to, making sure everything is kind of your personal, item. And so for us to be able to have that, it's been great. And then just the leadership of making sure that everyone is following the precautions outside is very important too. I feel like that's the most important because, everyone goes about their own lives and, around different people, and you don't know where those people been at, or you don't know who this person came in contact with. So making sure that, we do that so we can come in and, keep a healthy team and keep a healthy locker room. That's the biggest thing.
Sarah?
Deshaun, why was it so important for you not to publicly criticize or really comment on the Hopkins trade and just trust that Bill was doing the right thing for the organization?
Because that's not my pay raise. I can't control that. I feel the way I feel, but it's not my place and time to be able to, speak on that because I didn't know the whole background story on what exactly happened. That's their business and that's, their lane. I'm not going to step on my lane and get in that. But I know that me and Hop have a great relationship. I know that me and OB have a great relationship. But that's something that I can't play both sides in. I'm just going to sit in the middle and watch it from afar. And, that's their business. And I'm not going to get into it.
Aaron Wilson. Aaron, you have to hit on mute.
There we go. Hey, Deshaun, you've had a chance to work out with Laramie Tunsil. What have you seen from Laramie, and how much better even do you feel like he could play now that he's healthy and in his second year, knowing the playbook instead of being acquired right before the season the way he was and thrown in there?
That's the thing. I mean, just being the way he came in, it was just so fast. I mean, everything, especially with this offense, especially playing that position, being the left tackle of a very, very complex offense where you have to think, you have to be able to, maneuver and be able to, switch on the fly. And for him to come in and do what he did last year, and be successful and be a Pro Bowl left tackle. But this offseason, having a full season and know the whole package and know the whole offense and see him work and see him get healthy, I mean, it's been incredible. So, we built that chemistry off the field as more than just, being a teammate, as a brother. And I know he's going to have another even better, season this year.
Mark Berman.
Deshaun, one non-Texans/NFL question. You and Laramie and Kenny and Whitney and Duke Edgevour have joined in to partner with Texas Southern. The folks over at TSU, for lack of a better phrase, jumping for joy at this partnership and what it means to their little school. How important is that to you, and how special is that for you to be involved in this?
I mean, it's always good to be able to support the community that you stay in, that you live in and call home. And for us to be able to, for them to be able to let us use their facilities, especially, during times like this, and be able to trust us and, take the right precautions and things like that. It was awesome. They've been great at supporting us and making sure that we're staying safe and having security around and, sanitize and things like that. So, we just wanted to be able to, support them and make sure that, we're behind them as they are, behind us.
Adam Wexler.
Hey, Deshaun. I know every team is in the same situation without off-season practices on the field, no preseason games or joint workouts. You happen to have a lot of new pieces on the offense and a new OC play caller. Can you be sharp when the season begins? Do you feel like that is a huge obstacle to overcome that you guys can for the game in Kansas City?
No, I feel like by the time Kansas City rolls around, we're going to be sharp. We're going to be, detailed, and we're going to look very efficient. And for us that's why we got a veteran team, a lot of guys that play a lot of football that can pick up offense and know the game and know the schemes. And we're doing a lot of meetings at the stadium, a lot of Zoom calls and a lot of FaceTime calls where, those guys the new guys that just came in are getting adjusted, and they're getting adjusted very fast. They've been looking very, very good since we reported. But me and Tim been on the same page, so that wouldn't be any different. It's my job of being the leader and being the coach on the field to make sure everyone else around us is doing the right things the way we want to do it and the way I want it to, kind of happen on the field. So with me and Tim being on the same page and me kind of communicating that to all the new guys has been good.
We'll just do a couple more. Cody Davis.
Hey, Deshaun. Hope all is well, man. We saw you and Brandon Cooks on social media working out a couple times this offseason. So can you talk about building that chemistry with him, and what are you most excited about playing alongside him this upcoming season?
Yeah, that chemistry came natural. I mean, since, we signed him, and got him, we definitely, kind of build that chemistry. We've been talking ever since. And, working out with him has been good. He's just a great person. His family is awesome, amazing. A guy that you just want to be around. He's seen so much football, been around so many people, played with Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Jared Goff. So he's seen a lot of different quarterbacks in a lot of different ways. So he's giving me knowledge on what he learned from different people, and he's learning from me, which is awesome, which is amazing, especially a guy that played a lot of football. So, we just kind of build that, and, it's been good.
John.
Yeah, Deshaun, last year when you threw the ball to a running back, it was almost always Duke Johnson. Now you got David Johnson, who's one of the best receivers ever out of the backfield. The possibility of having both those guys on the field at the same time to choose from. Talk about them as receivers and what kind of mismatches that could create.
I mean, they create so much. You have to respect that. Not just running the ball. So you have to respect, is it going to be a pass or is it going to be a run? And with both of those guys on the field, you don't know who's going to touch the ball. So we can do so many different things, especially with David coming in and his size, his speed. And then you have Duke, his, coming out the backfield and his be able to agility and be able to move and things like that. So, it's been good to be able to have, two guys like that. I've never had that in my career. So it's going to be fun to be able to play with both of them and see what we can do.
Okay, last one for Aaron Reese.
Sean, how do you think potentially not playing in front of any fans or obviously playing in less than full stadiums will affect how you go about doing your job in terms of what the defense can hear or what you guys can hear and all those sorts of things?
I mean, it won't affect me. I mean, that's not my concern. When I'm on the field, I'm already in my zone. I kind of blink out anyway, even if it's crowd noise or if it's not. So for me, I just want to compete. I just want to lock in on and have Zoom focus on what I do. And of course, yeah, if there's no fans that can hear us, but at the end of the day, you still have to, contain and stop us. And that's the mentality. And that goes for anybody across the league, for myself and any other offense, they're going to feel the same way. You can hear what we're saying, but at the end of the day, you have to stop us. You have to stop the guys that are running the routes and the quarterbacks that are making the decisions. So for me personally, I don't think that's going to affect the way I play in the game that we're playing, and for any other quarterback around the league, I bet they feel the same way.
Okay, thanks, Deshaun.
Thank you.